Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Clique, and today we're going to be looking at the Pulsar Xlite gaming mouse. And even though this is a new mouse, there is a lot of familiar things here. PTFE feet, paracord cable, lightweight. This actually comes in at under 50 grams, and there are holes in the shell of the mouse. But that isn't what makes me most excited about this. It's that I tried out their keyboard, Pulsar Lunar Alloy TKL keyboard, and I want to see if the quality of their keyboards translates over to the quality of their mice. And it looks like Pulsar was definitely going for more performance than aesthetic look, because it is a very basic looking mouse with that matte black finish. If you tend to like more minimalistic looking designs, then you'll probably like the design of the Xlite mouse. And another thing that I noticed about this mouse that I was really excited for is that I noticed that they're using the newer Pulsar 3370 sensor, which is an improvement even from industry standard sensors that we've trusted before, like the 3360 and 3389 sensors. It looks like there's a lot of good here. We're going to be doing the unboxing of this mouse and then probably a full review sometime in the future. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't already, please like the video since it really does help with the channel. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, cool. So here we got the Pulsar Xlite gaming mouse. Let's get this thing open and take a look at it. On the front, they got the name of the mouse. Like I said, really minimalistic, really just has the matte black finish of the mouse, the name, the company, Pulsar, and that's what we got on the front. On the side of the box, it shows off some of the technical specs, like the Omron 20mm switches, Pulsar 3370 sensor, and the build quality should be good considering they gave it this US military standard drop tested seal of approval, which I've never even seen before on any mice. So that is good to know. So hopefully the build quality also holds up to that, not only just from dropping it, but of course any flexing or creaking that we usually see. And any type of creaking or flexing is usually an indication of poor build quality, even if you might not necessarily break your mouse by creaking it or flexing it that particular way. On the back of the box, it shows off the back of the design and what comes included in the box. So you do get the Xlite wired mouse, the micro bungee, grip tape, and extra PTFE feet. So these extra PTFE feet are going to be included in the box. They sent them separately. So if that's an indication of anything, that really just tells me that Pulsar does care, considering that they went back out of their way to send this extra package of PTFE feet that should have been included the first time. And especially since they were just sending these out to reviewers, I feel like, you know, they didn't really have to do that, but I'm glad that they did. And then on the right side shows off that they do include the micro bungee, and then they talk about their paracord cable. All right, so let's get this thing open and take a look at it, because we all just want to see what the mouse is about. Okay, so it looks like they're keeping that blue theme. I really like how the actual packaging looks. The Pulsar Xlite box with that blue and like striped white design, that's pretty cool. Looks like they gave us a sticker just like they did with the keyboard, gave us that Pulsar logo sticker. We also got an instruction manual, so I'm pretty sure this is just like a quick start guide that tells us how to use the mouse, what comes included, how to install the grip tape, micro bungee, what the buttons do, and all that good stuff. Oh, and they also include where you can get the software, pulsar.gg. And now for the actual mouse itself. Ooh, okay, so I can already tell this is like a bigger mouse, probably more for medium to larger hands, but let's just take it out to really get a look at it. All right, so the cable, I can already tell, doesn't feel the lightest, but I feel like this is probably just to make it sturdier, similar to how the Extravite Easy cord isn't the lightest cord, but they are known to be more durable. I feel like the same kind of thing here. And this actually feels pretty similar to the paracord they have on their keyboard, which is pretty insane. So this is their keyboard paracord that they have that I thought was so genius and unique. And it seems to be similar to this paracord, although this one seems to be a lot more of a tighter weave and lighter. This is a bit more loose, which I would prefer the looseness, but it does feel a lot thicker and just overall heavier. As for this paracord, it feels like this could be a little bit looser, more like the keyboard paracord is, so that's kind of strange. All right, so just looking at the mouse itself, there is no DPI button on the top of the mouse, so it looks like if you want to change the DPI, you're gonna have to do it from the software. Another thing that's very unique is this open back design. I think this is how they cut out a lot of the way on the mouse, and I actually haven't seen this before. So the complete bottom of the mouse just has no protective covering. So one thing I'm already going to be concerned about a little bit is any potential dust getting in. And I know that we've seen honeycomb mice with cutouts on the top and the sides, but really I feel like a lot of the dust you'd be picking up from anything that's on your mouse pad. So having it on the bottom could be an issue as far as getting dust in the mouse, but if the mouse itself, the actual controller, is dust proofed or waterproof, I feel like that's very important. So we'll have to see, and I'll definitely let you guys know if I have any issues with that, or if I see any considerable buildup of dust or any dirt or any of those types of particles in the bottom of the mouse. So basically you just get your mouse 1 and 2 buttons, your scroll wheel button, and then your 2 side buttons. So 5 buttons really here total. So this mouse does feel to be more ergonomic, not really small either. This does feel like it would be more suited for larger hands. So I wonder if they would make a Pulsar Mini or like a Pulsar Xlite S, because this does feel to be a lot bigger, but I'm surprised they kept the weight down even this low. And like I said, I think a lot of that is because of the cutouts all over the mouse, but especially on the bottom. That's pretty genius, and I haven't seen anything like that. And yeah, I don't see any RGB anywhere on this mouse. So it appears you can get a bit of flexing, but in regular use, obviously you wouldn't be pressing your mouse like this. Really built well on the sides. Like, I'm really pressing hard on this. Can't get any flexing on the bottom. Only on the middle, if you press the middle and the top. If I'm just pressing the top, I can't get any flexing, but if I'm pressing both, I can get some clicking there. Pressing really hard on these side buttons, can't get any flexing or any creaking there. So there's a definite stopping point. It looks like they did reinforce the insides of the mouse to stop any potential issues with that or any increased flexing on the mouse button, so that's good. The mouse 1 and 2. Okay, sound good. So here are some of the software adjustments that you can make. Left click, right click, you can reassign those or change them, whatever you want. Disable, and usually I do disable the DPI button on the mouse, but since there is no DPI button, I didn't really have anything to disable this time. Checking out the DPI, set mine to 800. Looks like you can go as low as 50. I'm gonna go to 800 because that's what I usually use, so that feels a lot better for me. Save that. Parameters, you can change your mouse sensitivity. I just left this at the default 10, made sure this was turned off. It was turned off by default, so that's good. Pulling rate's already 1000, so I'm gonna leave that there. Scrolling speed, I leave that on default. Double clicking, I'm gonna leave that at 550. I changed the debounce time, I think it was around 12 milliseconds. I put that down to 4 milliseconds, and then that liftoff distance was already on low, so I just left that on low. And then as for macros, if you want to make any or assign any, you can do that in here. And that's pretty much all you really need to do in the software. Pretty clean and simple design, very intuitive. Don't see how you could really have any issues with this. And since there is no RGB, pretty much everything that you need to get done and would want to get done in your mouse software looks like you can get done in here. And it looks like they do offer a little bit more customization than I expected with some of the mouse sensitivity, scrolling speed, double click speed, debounce time, and LOD adjustment, which is great because being able to customize that is pretty important. But one thing I did notice is that the liftoff distance only toggles between low and high. I wish they would tell us the amount of millimeters of distance that is. I'm assuming it'd probably be between 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters, or possibly 2 millimeters and 3 millimeters. I don't see anything on the box right now that indicates what that is. All right, so I wasn't able to find any information on how low the actual LOD is, but I think before I do my full review, I'll definitely reach out to Pulsar and ask them what the difference is between the high and the low. But from what it feels like, it is really low, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was either 1 or 2 millimeters on this. I don't suspect it'd be any higher, considering even when I'm moving it right now, I really don't feel any type of extra movement after I'm lifting it up. So that's good. So let's go check that out in game. So to really get a good feel of this mouse, I want to use it without the bungee first, just to get a feeling of the cable. And then eventually I will put this on the mouse bungee that I have, because even though this is a bigger mouse, like I said, it does feel really light, even with it being that bigger shape. And it is harder to fingertip this mouse just because of the ergo shape and the fact that it is bigger. I am used to like smaller mice with an ambi shape, and it does feel really comfortable to hold, like if I am using it in like a relaxed palm grip or like even a claw grip, just because of like the higher middle section. Not so much the back, but I do get a little bit of that in like the middle. So overall, just from using it in Valorant, it does feel pretty comfortable to use, like I said, in this palm grip, but I don't really use palm grips, so it's not so much as good for me. But in the claw grip, it does feel a little bit more comfortable. It feels least comfortable in fingertip grip, even though that is my main grip, just because it is a bigger mouse. The shape kind of reminds me of like the Glorious Model D, but a lot lighter, and just overall feels a lot better built in that mouse. And one thing that I absolutely love on this mouse is the side buttons. I really like large side buttons. I feel like that can make a mouse a lot better. Here's the Model O mouse. This is the pink edition. This is the Model O minus. And look how small the side buttons are on this mouse are compared to the side buttons on the X Lite. The buttons are just a lot bigger and they just feel a lot more comfortable on the X Lite than opposed to the Model O minus, which they're just a lot smaller. And I know some people might prefer smaller side buttons, but at least me, I prefer larger side buttons. So here are my quick, concise thoughts on the Pulsar Xlite mouse, just from my unboxing and first impressions from using this mouse on my table, and also just using it in Valorant and Fortnite and just testing it out in general. So you get really great quality PTFE feed on here, and it does a great job of doing this because typically with larger mice, I like to see a more large circumference of the mouse being taken up. Like on the Hottie Wireless, you see how it has one large foot on the bottom of the mouse. I typically like to see that with larger mice as well, since there is a larger surface area. But since they actually cut out a lot of the bottom, and the bottom of the mouse is kind of like an open bottom design, it really doesn't make sense, and it would actually be a detriment to the mouse to put a larger foot on it because there'd be nothing supporting it. So they actually make it work, and I think that was a genius design choice, not only cutting out the weight but also finding a way to use less PTFE for more. So really, this is probably one of the best examples of less is more that I've seen in a mouse design. So they cut out holes not only on the sides of the mouse but also on the top and bottom. So if you don't like holes, it does come with included grip tape, so you can cover up the sides. And I've never been a fan of grip tape, but I've recently been using it more and more, and I've seen this like on the Hottie. Really nice design, a decent paracord cable, superb build quality, probably my favorite side buttons out of any mouse that I've used ever, period. I just really love these side buttons. They're big, they're easy to hit. I don't feel like I would accidentally push them in too far. Really good quality clicks with the arm run switches on this mouse, 20mm arm run switches. Standard stuff. You've seen this on like the Model O. So the one thing right now that I would want to see improved already would be the paracord cable. It does feel a bit stiff. Like I said, this could be to increase the durability of it or just the overall premium feeling of it, but honestly, I would like to see this be a little bit lighter and a lot less stiff. And during my gameplay, I experienced no spinouts, no lag, no inconsistencies. And if you're a fan of the minimalistic look and design of this mouse, that's definitely a plus too, because they do keep it clean, simple, matte black finish. Even their logo, they kept it pretty small in the middle of the mouse, and it's pretty low-key and discreet. If you want to get your hands on the Pulsar Xlite mouse, I'll make sure to put a link to that down below in the description, and you can make sure to use my code to get 10% off. I believe it's code Clique. Just make sure you click that link if you plan on getting this mouse. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give it a like, since it really does help with the channel. And if you're new here, I make all types of content on gaming tech, so if you're interested in this type of content, consider checking out the channel and subscribing. And lastly, if you haven't already, please follow the socials: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Like always, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.